Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about a brand new character coming to Galaxy of Heroes, the next Knights of the Old Republic character, and that's gonna be T3-M4. Now, we've already known this character was coming for a while now, and the other characters that we haven't seen yet are Mission and Zalbar. Won't be in this video, should be in another video soon, TM. And also today, side by side with this video that you're seeing now, we also got a brand new ship coming to the game. It's called the Sith Fighter. Go ahead, click on the card in the top right-hand corner if you want to check it out. Now, before we read the kit for T3-M4, I got a little email kind of giving us some important information about T3-M4, how you're going to acquire him, and a little teaser that droids will be getting better in the future. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. Let me read it real quick. We've partnered with Google Play to bring T3-M4 to players early in a limited time exclusive. The exact exclusivity period will not be disclosed at this time. However, iOS players will soon have the chance to obtain this popular character from KOTOR. Unlike the K2SO promotion, this is a normal marquee event, so everyone gets the same thing in the end, i.e. no 7-star character on one platform and nothing on the other. And guys, this last part has me a little excited because they're kind of hinting that the droids are going to get better in the future. I'll read the statement. It says T3-M4 synergizes very well with other droids, but although we expect them to rise in utility, we don't expect them to be meta dominant ... at least for now. But let's look at T3-M4. He's a support character, and we're going to take a look at his basic, known as Disable. Deals special damage to a target enemy with a 75% chance to inflict ability block for 1 turn, and here comes the target lock synergy that Capital Games is slowly adding to the new droids. If the enemy has target lock, the ability block can't be resisted. And next up is Repair Kit. Now, this ability is kind of nice. It's alright. You get to dispel all debuffs from a target ally, and if the ally was a droid that you selected, you also recover 50% health and 50% protection and gain critical hit immunity and offense up for 2 turns. So it's not quite as good as, let's say, the Jawa Engineer. It has some vibes because you can repair a droid essentially, but too bad this ability isn't like Jawa Engineer where you can revive a droid. That would have been neat. This is okay though. I mean, the 50% health and protection, that's definitely a nice little bump right there. Carbonite Projector, you deal special damage to all enemies and dispel defensive buffs from any enemies who have them. Then remove 20% turn meter and inflict critical chance down and offense down for 2 turns, which is the interesting part. And if there's target lock on the enemy, they can't resist these debuffs. And now we take a look at the uniques. Both of these uniques have a Zeta on them, and the first one here, Combat Logic Upgrade, kind of has an interesting thing going on when you pair it along with R2-D2's Combat Analysis. With Combat Logic Upgrade, when you max it out, droid allies gain 8% potency and 8% critical hits chance, which is stacking each time T3-M4 uses any sort of ability. And also, droid allies have plus 8% critical damage for each debuff on the enemy team. So obviously, the reason why we have all this target lock synergy for T3-M4 to not resist debuffs is because you want to spam as many debuffs on the enemy team as much as possible. And the more debuffs on the enemy team with all the target lock, ability blocks, and whatnot, you should have some decent damage output with a droid team. Now, Master Gearhead is the last unique we have here, and this will help your droids get even more damage output because as we see here, T3-M4 has plus 100% defense penetration, and droid allies gain 100% of T3-M4's defense penetration. Additionally, each time T3-M4 starts his turn, he has a 75% chance to inflict target lock for 2 turns on a random enemy who does not already have it, and this target lock can't be evaded, and too bad they didn't add the clause can't be resisted. Alright, let's get into some gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. This is just some preliminary testing. We'll do some more videos in the future, especially full droid teams. I think there's a potential, as we'll see in this video. But let's start off with this one. If you've seen my previous droid videos I've made, Jedi Training Rey and BB, in my opinion, forms the basis for the most powerful droid team, and I use that term kind of lightly. A full droid team isn't quite there as the best team, but with Jedi Training Rey and BB-8, there's some potential. BB-8's pretty much mandatory for droid teams if you want them to get out of the gate really quickly. So pay attention here. Once we start applying debuffs to the other team, our damage output is going to be crazy high. BB does 30,000 on a critical hit, or on a counter attack. IG-88 will do 30,000 on his AoE. Let's start applying those debuffs, because the more debuffs we have, the higher the critical damage we have. So we got to slow down Nihilus a little bit, and then we have to work on Traya, because if we don't take care of her self-cleansing, all these debuffs go bye-bye, and we don't do much. And now, Carbonite Projector, we're going to get some decent damage because of all the debuffs, and hopefully you push back some turn meter. Let's see what happens. There we go, 13,000 on a AoE, and we removed turn meter, not bad at all. But now watch, IG-88 does some really big damage. No offense up, no critical damage up, and we're gonna do some good stuff. Watch this. Look at that, 31,000, 32,000. I mean, I can finish off Palpatine, but I really want to just start hammering away at Darth Trace so they stop self-cleansing here. I mean, it's some really good, that's the thing that's most impressive. I mean, these droids aren't going to be meta-changing like Bastila, where she beats Palpatine and whatnot, but look at these counterattacks. BB-8 finished off Palpatine for the most part, and like a lot of non-Bastila teams, now we run into the problem where we kind of get stuck behind Sign, and all those critical hits kind of drive his Held by Hatred even faster. We gotta take care of Darth Trey. If we don't, stuff like that will happen, and that's kind of the problems we run into. I've shown this team beat this lineup that we're facing against, but there's just still a lot of stuff missing for droids to become a viable faction. Opening is awesome. You can get some awesome stuff in the opening, and I have squeezed out some battles where I won, but after those few opening moves, once they catch up, we can't really get far into the battle with doing much. See, now we have Isolate on T3-M4. R2D2's almost gone. BB-8 was one-shotted by Darth Trey, but I mainly just wanted to do this battle. Very difficult battle, I have to admit. Only a few teams can beat Palpatine, but I wanted to mainly showcase how out the gate we're getting some huge damage output with the droids. Moving on to HK-47, a very outdated leader, but if you're looking for a full droid team, you gotta go with HK-47. Now again, this team we're going up against is very difficult. We'll show an easier team towards the end so we have a better idea of how T3-M4 works, but I want to give you guys a quick snippet of a full droid team, and I will make a video later on this week showing a bunch of other full droid teams. So there we go. Because of HK-47, we're going to take a couple back-to-back turns. Let's pass over the foresight. I don't know. Let's just give it to BB. He's already taunting. Give him at least some foresight. Let's push back some turn meter. Let's see how much damage we're going to get because of all these debuffs. Let's push back the turn meter just a little bit. Come on. All right, 10,000 damage. And now we can cleanse someone to give it to R2D2. So he can maybe stun Thrawn later on. All right. Now, IG-88 should do some good damage because of all these debuffs. Let's see what we got. All right, attack number 1, very nice, and now we could probably take care of Palpatine right here. Let's just wipe him out. Boom, boom, 59,000 damage. Wow, I've never seen that much damage come from IG-88. Again, droids are starting to get somewhere where they're getting huge damage out the gate. It's once you start getting that first character taken out from a Palpatine lineup that things get pretty difficult. See, now they're gonna catch up, they're gonna fracture me, they're gonna get paint all over me, we're gonna get dazes, but I just mainly wanted to show with this team, we're starting to get somewhere where they could compete, but it's not easy with a full droid team. But the damage out the gate is crazy, 60,000 on a basic without any sort of critical damage up or offense up for IG-88. That's huge. But now we're stuck behind a sign, and because of all those critical hits, he went crazy, and now he's got held by hatred. And pretty much the rest of the battle, it's gonna look like this. So that's the problem with droids right now. So I'm gonna see if maybe we could get a little chance of redemption. We're gonna get stuck behind the taunt for the rest of the battle, pretty much. And there we go. Come on, can we get a stun by chance? Hey, there we go. The stun's not gonna matter. And we're gonna probably lose IG-88 in a second here, or BB-8. So we lost BB-8. And so this is kind of how it goes. So I'm going to just fast forward this. We know this is going to be a lost battle. Let's move over to an easier team out there. And just to kind of get a better idea of how this is going to work for T3-M4. So for the last battle, we're going to do something a little bit easier so we can at least see something out of T3-M4 rather than 30 seconds of awesomeness and then getting blown away. We're going to go up against this Jedi Training Ray, a very good combo right here. But because we're out-droiding the other team, we're going to kind of fly circles around them. Let's get a daze on BB-8, please. Oh, no dazes, unfortunately, but we'll hide under stealth, so he shouldn't bother us too much. Let's push back the turn meter a little bit on the other team. Very good, very good. All right, and now they're going to start running circles around us because they got the exposed train going. Everyone's under stealth, unfortunately. Let's do this. Let's get BB-8 to assist here. All right, 13,000 damage, not too bad. All right, get some more debuffs on the other team. We need to get all these debuffs out there so we can get characters like IG-88 to do some big damage. We still have to focus on Holdo. Get some more foresight on her. All right, big damage IG-88. Show us what you got. Ooh, some big damage right there. Look at 31,000. Resistance Trooper is practically done. All right, come on, let's get another AoE. R2 should do some good damage. 12,000 damage, and we got our Illuminated Destiny out. So they almost were able to outbeat us here, or outdo us, or outspeed us, because they had their exposed train going. But now look at that 35,000 damage from BB-8. This is what I want to show you guys, is that BB-8 is a pretty big threat when you add T3-M4 to the lineup. Is this lineup perfect? Look at 31,000 damage on the basic before the crit, or before the exposed. Let's finish off this guy. Boom, boom, 41,000 damage. I mean, again, you're gonna get the droid's utility, as I said in previous videos. It keeps going up and up and up. Slowly, they're not meta dominant, as we kind of read earlier, but as they kind of alluded to, it looks like we're gonna get something down the line to make droids a very good faction, whether it maybe is a HK-47 rework, maybe General Grievous, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, let that be the case. Long story short, droids are getting somewhere with T3-M4. We're kind of getting better and better over time, and if you want to get that huge damage output out the gate, you need a lot of debuffs, and you need T3-M4 in a droid team, so you can do those 30,000 damage AoEs, 30,000 from BB-8's counterattack, 59,000 from IG-88's basic. Holy cow. So although T3-M4 is a good addition to the droid faction, I can't really see him working in non-droid lineups, working as a random character in the team. He's just going to be good for droids and probably important going forward for the droid factions. A lot of speculation is T3-M4 and all these Knights of the Old Republic characters might be needed for some sort of Knights of the Old Republic legendary event. That's all speculation, but he sounds like he's going to be important one way or another down the road. But that's going to be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this preliminary review of T3-M4 gave you a decent idea of his potential and the importance of T3-M4 in the future, most likely. And check out the Sith Starfighter video if you want to check out the new ship, and let me know down below, what are your thoughts? Are you liking T3-M4? Do you think he's important going forward? Would love to hear your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe and like the video if you haven't done so already. And until the next video.
Party Richter, Party Richter. Down, 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 down. Party Richter, Party Richter. Son of a bitch. Party Richter, Party Richter. Down, down, down.